Hey class, I noticed a few things about Jupyter and on the Pickle computers that I didn't really like, so I thought I would share with you how to fix some of those things, at least in my opinion. So if we open up Jupyter, first of all, this is one thing that's unavoidable. It's going to open up this window and you need to keep it open. This is a server program, kind of like the server that you connect to on the internet, but it's like on your computer. And this Internet Explorer window that opens up, or I guess, I don't know, Microsoft Edge, same thing, uh, also opens up. This is actually what you want. You want this to open up because this Explorer window is, or Edge window, is talking to the server, just like it talks to web pages over the internet, and this is server is telling it what to put on the screen, and so that's how it works. Like Python is running under the hood in here, and this is just a display. So what is all this stuff? What are all these folders? Where is it opening on my computer? Well, it turns out you can find out by right-clicking and finding the properties of Jupyter here. And this is the folder that it starts in on my computer. See, user mat anaconda 2. So if we go in there, we can try to find it. Users mat anaconda 2. And let's see. Looks like it matches up. We've got conda, meta, DLLs, doc. Okay, great. So when I save, create a new Python notebook, and I do some stuff in it, 1 plus 1. Let's actually run that. Okay, and then we save it. Right, you should be able to save files, right? Where does it save to? Well, it's going to save to here. It's untitled.ipynb. ipynb is the extension of the Jupyter Notebook files, so let's call it Matt's Notebook, and you'll see that it is indeed in this folder here. So it's also on my computer. Let's see, Matt's, yeah, there we go, Matt's Notebook, it's in there. How do we get it to be somewhere sensible, like the desktop or your Z drive? Okay, in order to do that, we need to change this folder that we're looking at here, right? But unfortunately, you can't. At least you can go in deeper, but you can't go up from that. You can't get back higher up in the tree. Here I can go back from Anaconda to Matt to users to C. If I wanted to get to the desktop, then it would be in users Matt desktop, right? Not Anaconda 2. So this is maybe where we want it to be. So let's copy this. This is where we want it to be. And we can get out of here. Close that as well. We can change this. So this is something you can do on your own computer. If it doesn't work, let me know. We'll figure something out. But now when I open up Jupyter, now it opens up on the desktop, right? So I can create something new. Oops, new Python notebook. 1 plus 2, save it. Let's name it something. Favorite notebook. You'll see it appears on the desktop there, right? And if we wanted to load that, so let's say, we got out, right? Close all the tabs, leave. We could open up Jupyter again, and it's going to open up with the desktop as the directory. Okay, and then we can just find it and click it, and picks up where we left off. It looks like I didn't save things right the first time. I want to show you that it does work. I need to press save maybe. So 1 plus 1. Let's see if this saves the result. Okay, so let's close this. Opened up. Okay, yeah, so it does indeed save. So another thing I don't really like is that it opens up in this Edge browser. Let's fix that as well. So exit out. So I just type default. Default app settings is what you want. You can change that pretty easy. That's just a Windows thing. It's whatever your default browser is. So I like mine to be Chrome. switch anyway. Okay, so let's try it again. This time when we open up Jupyter, it should open up in Chrome. Look how much faster that is. Okay, so it opened up in Chrome. It's nice and big. All right. Now, one problem is that you probably on the PIC computers can't change this. For whatever reason, it requires administrator permission to change that. So here's a few other options, okay? And this is important for the rest of the class in different circumstances. We're going to be using the command prompt maybe more than you're used to. So the Windows command prompt, let's open that up, CMD. Notice we're in C users mat. So if I type something, dir, that means show me all the files and directories that are in there. I'm going to show you that that's the file we were in. It was in C users mat. And look, this is the directories we get. Astropy, bash history. I don't know where bash history is. Maybe that's hidden. Cache, conda, continuum, designer. Okay, so this is indeed this place on the computer. So if we try to open up Jupyter Notebook from here, it's going to open up, you can actually type in Jupyter Notebook. It's going to open up right in this directory. We don't want that. We want to open up, say, on the desktop. Okay, so I'm going to change directory to, I think that I copied that a long time ago, the correct directory. Press enter. And now if I type in Jupyter Notebook, I'll get out of this one. It opens up Jupyter Notebook again in the desktop because I was in the desktop before I opened it. Okay, so that's handy. So that's one way you can open up Jupyter in any folder that you choose. For instance, you might want to open it up in the Z drive on your computer. That is something I suggest. I don't have a Z drive on this computer, but you would type Z : and then press enter. I can't do that, but if you did that, it would go to the Z drive, and then you can open up Jupyter in there. And so you might want to go a step further, is make a shortcut on your desktop to make that possible. So let's do that. I'm going to open up Notepad++. You can do that on your computers, the PIC computers as well. So Notepad++. And I can just type in what I want it to do. I want it to go to the Z drive, and then I want it to open up Jupyter Notebook from there. And I'm going to save that as, let's put it on my desktop. Start Jupyter. And I'm going to save that, say all types here. I need to give it the file name extension .bat. Okay, and what this bat file does is basically when you double click it, it is going to execute these commands in a command prompt. That's what a batch file does. It's just a batch of commands. So I'm going to change this to C users mat desktop to make sure it opens up there. I'm going to save that. Notice I've called it startjupyter.bat. It doesn't matter what you call it as long as you don't call it Jupyter. If you do call it Jupyter, then it is going to, when you call C users mat desktop, right? If this is in the same folder, it's going to end up calling itself instead of the Jupyter program. So got an infinite loop doing that before. So now if I double click startjupyter.bat, it types in C user mat desktop. Oops, I needed to put a my fault. I needed to put a CD in there. Okay, I want change directory to this. If you're going to the Z drive, you don't have to do that. You can just type Z. But if you want to go to another folder in the same drive, in the C drive, then you have to put that CD change directory in there. So let's try that again. So you see, it just copies and pastes basically right in the command window these commands, so you don't have to do it manually every time, and so you can make that on your desktop. Alright, and so what's this all for? Why do we care about Jupyter? Well, again, Jupyter is useful for, I think, for prototyping things. So let's let's go ahead and see one of the things that Jupyter is useful for. It's useful for downloading the notebooks or opening up the notebooks that I provide. I go through the preparations myself and type in all the things that I think that maybe you might want to type when you're doing the preparation. Now I only post those afterwards because I want you to start doing that on your own, but this is you can see a little bit about how I might explore the things that you're learning. So if you, oops, I actually don't want to be in editing mode. I'm just going to download this preparation notebook. This will appear on 1M in this case, or this will appear for you on 1W. And so you can't just double click it, right? It's this file. What is this .ipynb? Well, you go into Jupyter and you find it. And now that you know how to get Jupyter to see files in the correct places, well, you can either put this file in the place where Jupyter's looking, or you can change where Jupyter's looking. Let's open up, oops, that's not the one I wanted to open up. Let's open up preparation1.ipynb. And it has a bunch of useful stuff in there, right? This is the my version of the prime checking program, so you can check yours against that if you needed some help on that, or if you wanted a different answer. And then some of the different tests that I might do as part of the preparation. And you're welcome to modify these and play with these afterwards, but I suggest you know that this is a great use of Jupyter, right? You can have all these commands, all this code, and you can execute it and see right there what the output is, right? But if you did this in Spider in one big long file, then sure, you could have all the code, but then you'd have all the output on the other side of the screen. It'd be very confusing which output corresponds with which pieces of code. One more thing I wanted to fix. I didn't like that this edge was down here, personally. So I'm going to get rid of it. Unpin from taskbar. And I'm going to put Chrome in its place. Pin to taskbar. So that's just me. That's just showing you how you can change things like that.